So the Soundcore Boom 3i is a super durable Bluetooth speaker that gives you a very big bang for your buck. It's Soundcore's first small size speaker that has a woofer and a tweeter setup. It has a built-in light feature that's actually worth using. It's super durable and it doesn't just float in water, it floats right side up, so you'll still be able to hear your music. I think the Soundcore Boom 3i is a very impressive speaker, but today we're going to compare it to both the JBL Charge 6 and the Sony ULT 3. And let's see how well this speaker can keep up. We're going to pricing. Both the JBL Charge 6 and the Sony ULT 3 have a retail price of $200, which is the current standard for a mid-size speaker. But these speakers do like to go on sale on a regular basis. But then there's the Soundcore Boom 3i, which has a retail price of $140, and this speaker also likes to go on sale on a regular basis. Nonetheless, I think all of these speakers are solid pickups. So if you want to pick any of these speakers up, they'll be linked down below, or you can always press on the YouTube shopping button. And if you want to further support the channel, then you can always watch the related videos in the description down below. Now first, there's the design of these speakers. Both the JBL Charge 6 and the Sony ULT 3 are mid-size speakers, whereas the Boom 3i is noticeably smaller and lighter than these other two speakers. But something that I really like about the Boom 3i is that this speaker comes included with a shoulder strap, just like the Sony ULT 3. Now, this shoulder strap isn't as premium feeling as the one that comes included with the Sony, but it still makes it very easy to carry this speaker around, and you can even hang it from something if you need to. Whereas with the JBL Charge 6, this speaker has a carrying handle that can be used in two different positions. It certainly works, but shoulder straps are just more useful, I feel. But more importantly, all of these speakers are super durable and you can take them on the go with you. However, both the JBL and Sony, both of these speakers have fabric wrap bodies, whereas the Soundcore Boom 3i has a mostly hard plastic body. Now, the Soundcore doesn't feel as premium, but it does feel more durable. Now, all of these speakers are waterproof, which is great, but the thing that really makes the Soundcore Boom 3i special here is that this speaker always floats right side up, meaning that if you were to use this speaker in a pool or in a calm lake, you're actually still going to be able to hear your music. Now, your music isn't going to sound perfect, especially if you have a little bit of water stuck in your drivers, but it's still usable. But also, the Soundcore Boom 3i has a built-in light feature, but more importantly, this light feature actually looks good and it has a decent flooding effect. And this is something that these other two speakers just don't have. So if you want a light feature for some reason, then the Boom 3i has one that's actually worth using. However, if you do decide to use this light feature, that is going to take its toll on the battery life. Now, when it comes to battery life, the Soundcore Boom 3i has an advertised battery life of 16 hours, which is good given its size. However, this advertised battery life of 16 hours is with this speaker playing at 50% volume and with the light feature turned off and with the bass up feature turned off as well. But real-world use with this speaker playing at 80% volume and with the light feature turned on and with the bass up feature turned on, it's good for around 6 hours of playback time, but if we were to use it with this light feature turned off, then it's going to be good for around 8 hours of playback time. Whereas with both the JBL Charge 6 and the Sony ULT 3, both of these speakers have an advertised battery life of 24 hours and real-world use, these speakers are also going to give you a longer lasting battery life than the Soundcore Boom 3i, and that is to be expected given the speakers' larger sizes and heavier weights. But the important thing here is the battery life to size ratio of these speakers is good, unlike, let's say, the Bose SoundLink Plus, which is larger and heavier but has a shorter battery life than both the JBL Charge 6 and the Sony ULT 3. And all of these speakers charge via a USB-C port as they should. However, with both the Sony and JBL, you can use their USB-C ports to charge your own devices, which is something the Soundcore just can't do. And with the JBL Charge 6, you can also use this USB-C port as a wired connection with your phone. Whereas with both the Soundcore and the Sony, you can only use these speakers wirelessly. But when it comes to wireless connectivity, all of these speakers can be connected to two devices at the same time, so you and a friend can both be DJ, and latency is not an issue for any of these speakers, so you can use them to watch videos with on your phone. But wait, if you want to invest in quality crypto, then check out our partner, Coinbase. Coinbase makes it super easy to invest in quality crypto like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, or Chainlink. And if you sign up using the link down below, you can get up to $200 in crypto and jumpstart your investing journey. So again, check out Coinbase by clicking on the link down below and get up to $200 in crypto. But with all that out of the way, let's talk about sound. When it comes to speaker setup, all of these speakers have a front firing woofer, a front firing tweeter, and dual passive radiators that shoot at the sides. And this is a big deal for the Soundcore Boom 3i because this is the first small size speaker from Soundcore that has this speaker setup, because for the past 3 years or so, this type of speaker setup has been reserved for your more premium speaker brands like Sony and JBL. And this tweeter and woofer setup is a big deal because this just helps with your overall instrument separation like this. So like we have just seen, the woofer handles the mids and the tweeter handles the highs. So this just helps with overall instrument separation and openness. And like I said, I expect this type of speaker setup for your more premium brands like Sony and JBL, but this is new for Soundcore. But now we're just going to go ahead and jump into the sound test. All of these speakers are playing at 75% volume with their stock EQs.
Time I try to fit in, it ends up in misery, yeah. Socializing doesn't fit me, but I can get away so easy. I was born a misfit, don't go with the cool kids, it's all overrated. No, I never missed it. I was born a misfit, don't go with the cool kids, it's all overrated. I just didn't need it. I'm a la 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 loner. I'm solo dancing on your body, crazy on my own, but all in. I can feel the eyes all staring, but I don't care about them saying I was born a misfit, don't go with the cool kids, it's all overrated. No, I never missed it. I was born a misfit, don't go with the cool kids, it's all overrated. I just didn't need it. I'm a la 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 loner. La 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 loner. La 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 loner. I'm an outlaw in this world. I'm a la 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 loner. La 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 loner. La 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 loner. I'm an outlaw in this world.
So when it comes to sound quality, I think all of these speakers sound good, however they do sound different from one another. With the Soundcore Boom 3i, the instrument separation isn't as good as these other two speakers, and the bass doesn't hit as hard as these other two speakers. The JBL Charge 6 does sound better than the Soundcore Boom 3i, but the JBL Charge 6 does lean towards a brighter sound signature, whereas with the Sony ULT 3, it sounds the most balanced here because the highs aren't as emphasized and the bass hits a little harder than the JBL as well. So overall, the Soundcore Boom 3i does a great job of keeping up with these other two larger speakers, but both the JBL and Sony do sound more open, and I feel that the Sony is the best sounding speaker here. And when it comes to max volume performance, just as you'd expect, these larger speakers get louder than the Soundcore Boom 3i, but I do feel that the Soundcore Boom 3i is good for like a 5-person get-together, whereas both the JBL Charge 6 and the Sony ULT ULT 3 are good for like an 8 to 10% get together. But the main performance difference between the JBL Charge 6 and the Sony ULT 3 is that the Sony ULT 3 does sound fuller at those higher volumes than the Charge 6, and sometimes on rare occasions you might get a little bit of distortion in the highs with the JBL Charge 6. And finally, let's talk about pairing these speakers up with other speakers. Now, with all of these speakers, if you have two of the exact same speakers, then you can wirelessly pair them up and get them to play in left and right stereo mode, but they have to be two of the exact same speakers. Or with the Soundcore Boom 3i, this speaker is using Partycast 2.0, so you can pair it up with other speakers that are also using Partycast 2.0, like either a Soundcore Boom 2 or a Soundcore Boom 2 Plus, and get them to play in sync. Whereas with the Sony, this speaker is using wireless party chain, so you can pair it up with other wireless party chain speakers like either an ULT 7, an ULT 5, another ULT 3, or to an XG500, XG300, XE300, XE200, or to an XB43, XB33, or XB23, and get them to play in sync. The only thing is you cannot connect your Sony ULT 3 up to a Sony ULT 1 because the ULT 1 does not use a wireless party chain, which I do feel is a very big shame. But if you want, you can also connect your Sony ULT 3 up to any of Sony's larger box speakers that are using wireless party chain, like let's say an ULT Tower 10 or an ULT Tower 9, and get them to play in sync, and you can pair up to 100 speakers together. But then there's the JBL Charge 6, which is using Auracast, so you can pair it up with other Auracast speakers, like let's say another JBL Charge 6 or to an Extreme 4 or a JBL Boombox 4, a Flip 7, a Clip 5, or a Go 4, and get them to play in sync. But you can also pair it up to any of JBL's larger party boxes that are also using Auracast, like let's say a Partybox Encore 2 or a Partybox 120, 320, 520, 720, or to an Ultimate, and you can get them to play in sync as well. Just keep in mind that you cannot connect the JBL Charge 6 up to any of JBL's older speakers that are using Party Boost, like let's say the JBL Boombox 3, a Boombox 2, an Extreme 3, a Charge 5, a Pulse 5, a Pulse 4, or to a Flip 6 or Flip 5. But overall, if you are planning on growing your collection of speakers, then you might want to go with either the JBL or Sony here. But with all that being said, I really like the Soundcore Boom 3i, and this is a very easy speaker to recommend if you're looking for something durable and portable. The included shoulder strap is a very nice plus that makes this speaker more versatile. The fact that the speaker always floats right side up is very neat, and it has a decent looking light feature that's actually worth using. This speaker just gives you a very big bang for your buck. However, when it comes to sound quality, both the JBL Charge 6 and the Sony ULT 3 do sound better than the Soundcore Boom 3i because they sound more open, but also they do get louder and they have more bass, which is to be expected for their increased price and size. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.